Top of the morning to you, DVD fam. Hello, I hope everybody's having an amazing day, night, morning, whatever the time is when you catch this video. First of all, thank you for the attention on the last video. You guys rock. I was blown away by the views, by the amount of comments and stuff like that. Thank you. That means a lot to me. So, thank you once again. Now, since you were that nice, I might even consider not tunneling you if I see you in a trial. No, but seriously, thank you for all the support and time you dedicated to the previous vid. I really do appreciate you. Now, today, I want to talk about the entity. The one and only creator of the trials, breaker of the souls, and the actual big bad of Dead by Daylight.
Oh, come on, Augie. Entity is not real. No way.
I hear you say. That's how you sound, by the way. No, okay. Yep, I hate to break it to you, but she's pretty much real, and you engage in an intimate back and forth with her on your every trial. The one-on-one exchange between the spider goddess and you, where you surrender your strongest emotions to her, your fears, despair, sadness, anxiety. She's there, latching to your soul, squeezing the happiness out and putting the stress in, so she can devour all of the dark emotions that start blooming once the despair settles in. Whispering into your ears, telling you to play more aggressive, be more oppressive, humiliate your opponents, while promising you fun, satisfaction, and a good time if you win. Promising you that drive, you know, the drive that you felt on your first win? The feeling you had when you escaped your first trial? She's lying, but you believe her for some reason, and you give in. You let the whispers take over. Now, all of this that I just said, this is what your characters go through in every single trial. This is the story about the dark matter that feeds the entity, the sweet nectar of this dark deity. All of us, in time, give into the whispers, the cold touches of this entity, and we start acting differently, all in hope to feed that sensation once again, to breathe, drink, eat, and live that feeling once again. Here is a short summary of one of the feasts for the entity that she likes to call trials. The Meg was a good teammate. She made sure no one was left behind and everyone is safe. But that changed in this trial. She never came back to save Claudette from the rusty old hook. Claudette was sacrificed, and Meg did not feel a thing. Her entire focus was on the trapper, who was going through his own piece of hell on the infinite loops of the Garden of Joy. Garden of Joy. Entity really has a cruel sense of humor, doesn't she? Every blind, every pallet stun, every teabag and flashlight click were a harmony trailed by the dark tendrils pushing deeper and deeper into her mind. Tendrils that promised happiness, satisfaction, and thrill if she wins. She needs to win. She has to win. Evan McMillan, aka the Trapper, was relentless. He ate so many pallets. His eyeballs were burning like hot coal, and his brain was full of pulsating pain. Meg was merciless. His rage grew. His resilience was not waning. He endured. He was patient, very patient, waiting for his time to strike. Somehow, the whispers in his mind forced him to push forward, to bide his time, to imagine all the ways that he can get back to the Meg, make her pay for all the things he went through in this trial. And then, she slipped. Her foot stepped onto the rusty latch, and the bear trap closed with a loud snap. She was caught. Evan was feeling the thrill, the satisfaction, the hype. He was promised many things by the whispers, by the shadows who were around him, ever since he stepped into the fog. Only moments before, Claudette was observing the dance that Mega and Evan so furiously performed. The weird and painful symphony of grunts, clicks, slams, and screams. She was getting weaker and weaker, and the entity's claw was nearing her chest, while her desperation grew. The sweet whispers moved away. She was feeling pure agony and hoping for a rescue. But there was no one to rescue her. Only a few minutes earlier, Felix was sacrificed. Since she did not went to help him and take a hit, she was more objective-oriented. The voice told her that she needs to stick the gen and forget everything around her. As the Felix's screams filled the air, the generator bursted into life, her generator. Just in time to celebrate Felix's move back to the campfire. And then, Evan turned to her. At that moment, her heart shrunk, and she realized that she made a mistake. They left Quentin to die before that. He was a fool, the voice said. Who even tries to disarm traps? Do the generators, the voice said. One by one, they fell and went back to the same place, to be summoned again into another trial. The main thing that all of them forgot was that alone, they're but feeble mortals, unable to make a difference. But together, they can make big things happen. They, however, did never just go back. Every time they got sacrificed, every time someone escaped, every time in every trial they were less themselves. They lost small bits. The light from them was seeping out, and in its place, dark matter formed. Every time they felt pain, agony, or fear, small pieces of them were torn out and replaced with nothingness. And those bits were soaked in by the big bad, the spider god, the entity. She thrives when despair is high. She revels in the misfortune and devours the hope of both survivors and killers, because at the end of the day, they're just food, cattle, for the goddess. As the tendrils pulled Claudette back to the campfire, the trapper performed the killing blow on the Meg. She screamed and fell down, feeling nothing but misery and regret. Feeling alone, hurt, cold, and desperate. The dark thoughts filled her heart as the trapper watched her losing the final battle. He wanted her to suffer, to feel the pain he felt from the searing heat of the flashlight, the pellet slammed on his head, and the helplessness he felt when she clicked her flashlight furiously just minutes before. However, his feelings of joy quickly vanished. The entity hooks in his back started seeping deeper into him, reminding him that he is just a foot soldier, here for her enjoyment, that he can never leave, that the death is not an escape. He was her champion. He might have been a survivor once, but now he is her tool. A tool that fought back but was dominated again and again and again. A small tear dropped beneath the bone mask, smearing the grime and dust and blood from his skin. He remembered Vigo, Sujan, Murph, Nikki, Isaiah, Dylan, and Clyde. All of them gone, eaten by her unsatiable hunger until they become soulless husks, and then thrown into the void. He was somewhat the lucky one. He made it out. But at what cost? With that thought, the world started dissolving, and he started walking through the long field, through the high, tall, dried out grass, back to the comfortable dark of that one spot near the campfire, where he spent most of his time. In a few minutes they were all back at the campfire. You would think that they would remember, they would feel, recall something from the trial that just ended. But they felt nothing. They were waiting for the next trial to begin. Waiting for a chance to prove themselves, to win. To feel the adrenaline pumping while still keeping their calm spirit. They will have to show iron will and empathy if they want to make it all out. But the whispers were there again. Talking about better and bigger things they can feel, if they just listen to them. And the ears started opening once again. starting of the new cycle of suffering. The killer watched them, studied them. His agitation grew. His distressing presence will be known once they're in the trial. But for now, he will keep his brutal strength in check. He will hold back his agitation, and once the trial begins, he will be the true predator, just like the voices request him to be. And he remembered that this was his burden to carry, until he ends up broken like so many before him. Because there is no escape from this world, only new cycles of pain, regret, and suffering. The countdown is almost done, and the new trial began. The entity is the cruel ruler of this distorted kingdom, and her laws are respected. No one escapes death, and there is no way out, since the death is not an escape in this twisted game of cat and mouse. The only question remaining is, who will come on top this time, in this trial? Will the survivors embrace their teammates and make a miracle happen, or will the killer have another blood-filled bowl to feed the god? And with this, I wanted to say thank you all for watching. This was a different one, a kind of a story-driven one. To be honest, I woke up in the morning and just wrote down the script, typed it out, and then went back to sleep, so I wanted to share it with you. I wish you all the best. I hoped you liked it, and tell me about your theories in the comments, because this was just a theory about DBD. This is not lore accurate. This is not backed up by the game lore or anything. This is a product of my imagination, how I imagine our characters feel in the game. Until next time, be kind to your fellow gamers, be respectful, and don't give in to the whispers. Augie, out.